Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a figure revered by nearly a quarter of the world's population. Our source is Namah Shivaya Shantaya, which translates to Salutations to Shiva the Tranquil. And right off the bat, it makes a pretty bold claim that we should look past the myths to find the man who started it all. So let's just get right to the heart of it. Is Shiva a god of myth, a figure of legend, or was he something else entirely? The source we're exploring today proposes that he was a real person who, about 7,000 years ago, fundamentally changed the course of human history. You see, the argument here is that the story of the real person has been hidden, buried under layers and layers of myth. So our goal in this explainer is to peel back those layers together. We're going on a journey to find the historical figure, Shiva the innovator, the social reformer, and the revolutionary thinker. Okay, let's dive in. To really understand the man, we first need to understand the world he was born into. We need to place him not in the realm of mythology, but right on the timeline of human history. The first thing that should jump out at you here is just the sheer scale of time. We're seeing human civilization getting its start around 15,000 years ago. Now, Shiva appears about 7,000 years ago. That's thousands of years before other major figures like Krishna, Buddha, or Mahavir. He lived during this critical shift between two historical ages. So he wasn't just a part of history, he was a literal turning point. So what did he actually do that was so revolutionary? This is where it gets really fascinating. This is where we meet the pioneer of arts and science. Let's take a look at his specific world-changing contributions. Try to imagine this. In the pre-Shiva world, sound had structure. You had the Vedic chants, for instance, which had 7 distinct meters or rhythms. You could clap along to them, sure, but they were missing something absolutely fundamental to what we call music today: melody. There were no notes, no scales, no tunes. And this is where you can see his genius. Shiva just listened. He observed the sounds of nature and realized they held a natural harmony. He isolated 7 distinct animal sounds, from the peacock to the elephant, and from them he created the 7 notes of the musical scale: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. This very octave is the foundation of almost all music in the world today. It's a 7,000-year-old gift that came from simply listening to the world. And he didn't stop with music. He also invented a powerful form of dance called tandava. Now, this wasn't just random movement. It was a science. By combining specific rhythms, hand gestures, and these powerful jumps, the dance was actually designed to stimulate the body's glands. The result wasn't just art. It was a practice for developing a healthy body, a sharp mind, and an elevated spirit. Now, as incredible as his artistic innovations were, his most profound impact might have been on the very fabric of society itself. He looked at the chaotic state of human relationships and introduced a completely new way for people to live together. Just look at this contrast. Before Shiva, society was often what's called matrilineal, but not out of a sense of empowerment. It was because fathers were often impossible to identify. Without any system of marriage, clans would forcibly capture women, which led to constant bloody conflict. So Shiva introduced marriage for the very first time. This new system was based on shared responsibility, and it established a stable family unit, giving women a new sense of dignity and security. And this wasn't just some small social tweak. Our source presents it as a monumental humanitarian achievement. By introducing the marriage system, Shiva helped lift society out of a vicious cycle of conflict and laid the foundation for a more stable and compassionate civilization. So we've seen what he accomplished, but what was the man behind these revolutionary changes actually like? I mean, how could one person possibly achieve all of this? Well, to be a pioneer, to challenge the entire existing social order, you have to be severe. When it came to his principles and his vision for humanity, he was absolutely unbending. He believed that to achieve a great goal, you have to be willing to face down every single obstacle without ever looking back. He was, in a word, ideologically tough. But, and this is the paradox, this is his true genius, while he was severe in his ideology, in his personal dealings with people, He was famously tender and soft-hearted. This perfect blend of severity in principle and tenderness in practice was something the world had never seen before. It's why he was so deeply revered. So, beyond his incredible innovations in art and society, Shiva also left behind a really practical philosophy for living. His teachings were boiled down into simple, powerful truths that are just as relevant today. His first teaching hits right at our internal state. Anger is our greatest enemy. He saw that it literally harms the body, it stuns the mind, and it blocks our own progress. It was a simple but profound lesson in self-mastery. Next, he warned against the trap of materialism. For him, greed was the root of all sin. He saw that this irrational thirst for things creates conflict, destroys our peace, and degrades our own humanity. And maybe his most practical advice of all was this: live in the present. He warned against getting lost in memories of the past or fantasies about the future. The only place where life is actually happening, where we have any real power, is right now. So in the end, who was Shiva? A musician, a dancer, a social architect, a philosopher? Yes, all of that. But above all, he was a leader who saw himself as one with the people he served. His ultimate identity wasn't as a king or a god, but simply as a member of the human family. And this brings us to our final thought. The story of Shiva, the historical person, isn't just about the distant past. It's a profound statement about human potential. And it leaves us with a question. If one person, 7,000 years ago, could so completely reshape the world through intellect, compassion, and sheer will, what potential for change, big or small, lies dormant inside each of us right now?